Greetings, family. Are you interested in visiting the Gambia, West Africa, with like-minded people from the diaspora? Well, if you are, the good news is that the African Global Congress International Working Committee are actually organizing a family gathering in the Gambia from the 2nd to the 6th of October 2026. And at that gathering, they will be reinforcing our reparations agenda. Enslavement and colonialism of African people is a crime against humanity, and our demands remain outstanding until each and every one of us agrees that justice has been done. So join the conversation and at the same time have a wonderful family gathering with like-minded people in the sunny coast of the Gambia from the 2nd through to the 6th of October. Now, I've got the pleasure of interviewing our brother Glenroy, who's going to tell us more about the conference and the event. Brother Glenroy, briefly introduce yourself and to tell us about why the Global African Congress International Working Committee is still relevant today.
Thank you, my sister. Greetings. My name is Glenroy Gitukia. This is the name given to me by the Mau Mau in Kenya. And I've been involved within the Global African Congress since its inception. And indeed, I attended the World Conference in Durban, where we got together there and decided we must have an African-only conference the following year. And despite all the 9/11 madness, we can go into conspiracy theory about how it happened or who created it. But it seemed at one point being used to take away the essence of the Durban World Conference Against Racism. So it has to be recognized in the face of that, that GAC managed to be created within a year. I am currently the Secretary General. This is because there is a need for us to have a office on the continent, and I am currently residing in Zanzibar.
Mhm. So many people want to know, why is the Global African Congress still relevant today? And maybe just tell us a bit about the founding fathers, or a bit about its foundation.
I think the most important thing is to recognize that whilst I believe, and I think many do, that there is a role for African governments on the continent and off the continent in the fight for reparation. But we've seen so many examples where governments seem to not recognize the role of people on the street, so to speak, or the rank and file people. So they have to have a voice. And this is what we're trying to do to ensure that I won't even call them the decision makers, but people who believe that they are leading the campaign, um, recognize that there are others that have been doing it and has a contribution to make. There are others who haven't joined yet, but have a contribution to make. We know that this is a moving train. People will join, people will jump off, people will come back on. It's a process that demands sustainability, and it won't be sustained by the same people all the time, but it's very, very necessary. We welcome, of course, the African Union's involvement and now its declaration of a decade. Why a decade? I don't know. We've been fighting this for many years. I always say that the first African who got stolen, put on a camel, and taken across the desert has been demanding his or her reparation. So it's not a decade thing. I hope we obviously achieve our objective as the earliest opportunity. So the next generation will be able to move forward. But I'm not that fanciful about it. I think we have a lot of fight to get where we're supposed to be.
Mhm. So
So it's about rank and file participation and ensuring the voiceless do not get left behind.
Oh, wonderful. And so, for those out there who may be interested in joining you in October for the Global African Congress Family Gathering Conference in Africa, the Gambia, what would they expect? How long would it be for, and what can they expect in terms of their involvement and what they might get out of it?
In 2024, we held one family gathering, the first one on the continent in Zanzibar. And what we said then, and saying it again today, even if you have been to the motherland at some time in the past, this is an opportunity to also uh, explore more, because Africa is a beautiful place. Those of us caught up in the European scenario get told about, I don't know, Costa Brava or south of Spain or even Disneyland or whatever. But Africa
Mhm.
has many beautiful places
Indeed.
that others are exploring and seeing. So we say the conference is 5 days, but do not come to the Gambia for 5 days. Make it a engagement in our motherland and be part of that. So obviously people depend on your work status, holiday, what you have, and so on. You have 2 months to um, work all that out if you haven't started already. We've been broadcasting this for some months and saying start planning now, start saving now. I would love to be able to say this is the cost for a flight, this is the cost for accommodation, where we're holding the conference. I think the cost, unfortunately, they gave us in dollars is $47 a night for a single, and I think 50. Don't quote me on this. For a double, which people can share or families can share. So the accommodation seems reasonable to me. We are also looking in the prospect of anybody who has a house vacant, because when we held our conference in Suriname in 2004, that's what we did. We used family home, and we hope the same thing will happen in Gambia. But at the moment, that's still being processed. The conference itself is a decision-making process. It's a decision-making about the direction that we want to be involved in the current situation that's going on. And we know that CARICOM has updated its 10 plan to 19. We need to examine that. We need to say, is this really relevant to what we are doing globally? Because one of the things I found with the first 10-point plan is it really was very much regional. It had to deal with regional issues such as indigenous people. Yes, it should be in there and part of that, but we're looking for a global documentation that people all over the world can engage in, not just from that region. So, as I said, it's now up to 19. I hope somewhere in there it will be or fulfill that. Unfortunately, I've started reading it. One of the things I notice is the demand for an apology from murderers and rapists and thieves and kidnappers was an apology. Now, to be quite frank, I don't share that view. I know many people do. Some have even said if they get an apology, it start the legal process. Well, I'm sorry, we know the crime that has been committed against us. We don't need an apology to tell us crime has been committed. It's a bit like Prince Charles, who's, beg your pardon, Charles, King of England, or whatever he is now, saying that he will open up the family history to see if they were involved in enslavement. Doesn't he know? Doesn't anybody advising him know? So there are, in my opinion, some learning lessons, some differences of opinion with people within the struggle, but we can work these out. We can work these out. I would expect that if we put enough pressure on, regardless of whether there's a mealy mouth apology or not, we can move forward and demand a change in the relationship between Africa and Europe
Mm, thank you
and
so,
the
so
Americans,
much.
of course.
So, family, if you're interested in having a say about reparations, which is now acknowledged as one of the greatest crimes that have been committed, against the people. It is a crime against humanity that's been committed against us people. And we want to continue to put the pressure on to ensure that we get reparations. And if you want to be part of that conversation and that discussion within a family setting in the Gambia in October 2026, then get in touch with Brother Glenroy, the secretary, or contact them via that email or WhatsApp number that you can see on the screen right now. Brother Glenroy, I want to rise you up for the great works that you're doing at the Global African Congress. And I wish you every success and the entire committee every success with this family gathering. I hope it's a great turnout and a good one on the motherland.
Please remember that if you can't make it, we hope everyone will make an effort to be there. You can join us on Zoom, which is also part of the information if you get in touch with me that I can supply you with that. Thank you, Sister Shanice. Asante Sana.
Asante Sana. Thank you so, so much. One love.